Now I'm going to talk to you about using hair extension methods to secure wigs and even hair pieces. This particular demonstration is going to be microbeads, but you can of course use any type of hair extension. I personally just find microbeads a lot quicker, cleaner and kinder on the hair. These are semi-permanent attachments again, so as I've said before, you can have them in for 2 or 3 weeks. I personally would always take them out after 2 or 3 weeks so that you can clean the area properly and clean up your unit before reapplying it back on. Also, as I said before, if you're wearing things on a semi-permanent basis, it means you're going to be sleeping in them, and when you sleep in your hair, again, you're going to be cutting its life in half, so just be aware of that. I have got other tips for extending life when sleeping in hair, but that will come later. As discussed before, if you don't do this properly, you will cause tension on your hair and you can risk hair loss. So for me, I would always get a professional hair extensionist to do this, but of course by watching these videos and demonstrations you can show her too, explain how you want to do it and maybe experiment together. I'm a bit naughty, I do put them in my own hair, but I don't have much hair to preserve, I'm not that precious about it. It's totally down to you, but there's the warning. The other option, thing I've said before, is do not do this with synthetic hair. I know people do attach extensions in permanently, but it is dangerous. They're very flammable and you can't get them out of your hair. It's going to burn your head and your natural hair too. What I'm going to do now is show you how to put on a microbead so you can see. This is the lady's natural hair here, and here is the hairpiece. What you have to do is take just a tiny amount of hair from the hairpiece and a tiny amount of your own hair. Make sure it's equal proportions. So you put the bead around the tool. The best beads to use are the ones with silicone coating because they grip much tighter. Okay, you slide the bead through the hair to the end. Push it all the way up to the scalp. Now, this is where you have to be careful. You do not grip it on too tight. Just up to the scalp is enough. You use your clamp to press down on the bead, and as you're pressing down, just gently rock your arm towards the scalp so the bead lies nice and flat, and there it is, super secure. So that's just an example of how you put on one. To remove the bead, use the clamp, just press it the other way and it slides off, and that's how quickly you can do them. So other ways of using the beads on a full unit. So when I tend to do it, I might just clamp a few beads around to the edges using my natural hair, and that's going to hold it on really secure. Another way you can do it is if you have a wefted wig. Place the wefted wig on. Now at the back of the weft you have the lines. Okay, what you can do is get your natural hair from underneath at the bottom of the weft and grab some from the top. So basically you're not actually using any of the unit hair in this method, you're just using your own hair, and that hair is clamped around the weft of the wig, and again that's really secure. A lot of ladies I know have done that. Another way of doing it, which is what you see in a lot of the clinics, is if you hardly have any hair and you want to secure something off, you can find a mesh. This is obviously a wig cap for demonstration purposes, but what you actually need is more of a lace. Make sure that the lace has larger holes. And then what you do is where you do have hair, you pull your hair through the mesh. It's not gripping now. You pull your hair through and you use your microbead to clamp on the mesh onto the head so that's tight. So imagine if you only have a little bit of hair, you can use what hair you have, you've now got a mesh. Once you've got that mesh, you can then stitch on, sew on any wigs. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any hair, you can still use the microweave method and it's completely secure to the head. I have seen cases where people use this method and they have it in for months, but I would never ever recommend that, it's very damaging. Again, just use a bit. One of the things I really like to do with the microbeads that just gives me a little bit more flexibility. Say I'm away for the weekend with the girls or going on holiday. What I might do with a hairpiece or a wig is use the microbead method to attach just around the back perimeter, so there it is solid. Then what I do is use the tape or the glue method just at the front, and this gives you so much more control because you can easily untape the glue or the tape, lift this section up and get under there for cleaning, which I personally prefer and is much better for your own hair. So with the microbead method, as you can see, there's all the ideas. You will need help and assistance with a lot of them. It's going to need at least 2 people to do it. As I said before, I recommend professional help with it. So thanks for watching. I hope you found one or several ideas of inspiration for attaching your hair. Good luck. Please contact me if you've got any questions about any of the methods or you've got any suggestions for me. Thanks.